Okay, circles. Today is, oh man, 5:24. We're getting close. 5:24:21. We're getting close to the end. So our objective really is equations and graphs of circles. Now, circles are not functions. They're not functions, okay? So, I mean, I don't know if you guys remember this, but a long time ago we talked about what a function is. Think about a circle, right? If you just put a circle on a graph, you know, it's not going to pass what we call the vertical line test at all. You know, it's not a function. So, that's why you get the x squared and the y squared, okay? So, you get both, x squared and y squared. So, circles. Here's the equation of a circle. It is, write this down, please, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Okay, and I'm going to highlight that because that's our formula. Okay, everybody have that down? Now, what we've learned in math is that means opposite. That means opposite, okay? So x minus h really means just the opposite of whatever it is. So the center of the circle, my center of my circle is at this value h, comma, k, all right? So if I look at example 1, the center's at 2, negative 3. See the opposite? So my center is at positive 2, negative 3, because it's just the opposite, right? It's got to be the opposite of those, okay? All right, always. So then I'm going to go to point 2, negative 3. And there's the center of my circle. And the radius is the square root of this number. And the radius is going to just be the square root of that number there. The square root of 25. Well, that's easy. Square root of 25 is just 5. Thank you. And you got notes, right? Good. Okay. So then the radius of this is just simply going to be r is equal to 5. So to graph it's easy. So I've got my center. How am I doing? This is pretty easy. Everybody agree? Center's at positive 2, negative 3. The radius is the square root of this number, which is square root of 25 is 5. So then I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, you can use a protractor. I mean, not a protractor, but a compass if you wanted to draw this, if you really want to make it look really pretty. I just try and draw it the best I can. Hopefully it doesn't look like a potato. A lot of my circles look like potatoes instead of circles, but you know, that's not bad, huh? There it is. Was that easy? Wasn't that easy? Okay, example 2, we're just going to use our equation, okay? We want to find the equation. Am I going too fast or am I okay? Antonio, how am I doing? Okay. So example 2, it says find the equation. Well, if I have to find the equation, let's go back and use this. Let's go write this down. I need the equation, so I'm going to write down my x minus h squared plus my y minus my k squared equals r squared, right? And I'm going to plug my 3 in for h and my 4 in for k, and I know the radius is going to be 4. So I'm going to rewrite this as, let's just put the numbers, the 3 goes here, the 4 goes there, and 4 squared goes here, okay? So the 3, because that's my center, 3, 4. So I'll put my 3 here, so I'll go x minus 3 squared plus a y minus 4 squared equals 4 squared, which is 16. I'll just change that to a 16, okay? Told you this was an easy lesson today, huh? X minus 3 squared plus a y minus 4 squared equals 16. And that is that. Ta-da! Pretty easy, huh? Much easier day, huh? Okay, all right, so let's take a look. So example 3, what is the equation of the circle? What I've got to do is just looking at the graph, let's see if I can find the center of it. So if I try and find the center of this graph, looks like it's, let's see, I found, looks like that's a diameter, that's like that's a diameter. Okay, so I just kind of tried to find the diameters, and the diameters intersect at this point here, so the center of this is at, looks like it's at 2, 2, doesn't it? And the radius, I can just count the radius. Let's see, from here I count 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know the radius is 4. Again, if I want the equation, I'm just going to use my equation formula, x minus h squared plus y minus a k squared equals r squared, right? How am I doing? Pretty easy, right? And then I know h and k are 2 and 2, so I'll put the 2 there and this 2 there, and I'll put my 4 there. So I'll have an answer of x minus 2 squared plus another y minus 2 squared equals 4 squared, which is 16, and I might just write it one more time with a 16 here. How's that? Okay, now this one's a little bit more challenging, but I think we can do it because we're smart. So I like to start, it says find the equation. I know the center, I don't know the radius, okay? So you could graph it and try and figure out what the radius is, or what we can do is just plug this number in. I'll show you how I'm going to do it, okay? I'm going to do it algebraically, because sometimes if you graph it, you might not get a very good answer. So I'm going to go straight to this. I've got an x minus my h squared plus my y minus my k squared equals r squared, okay? I know the center's at 1, 2, right? So I'll plug the 1 and the 2 in. Center, put the 1 there and the 2 there, okay? So I'm going to write this as a x minus 1 squared plus a y minus a 2 squared equals r squared. I don't know what the radius is, but I can find the radius. You see, this point here, if I were to graph it, lies on the circle. So this is an x and y value that must be in the equation, right? This is an x and some y value that has to be on the circle. So I should be able to plug this 4 in for x and the 2 in for y, and then I'd be able to probably find the radius, right? So I put the 4 right here and the 2 there. So I put my 4 there and my 2 there. I should then be able to find the radius. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'll rewrite this as a 4 minus 1 squared plus 2 minus 2 squared equals my radius squared, okay? And then I'm going to get a 3 squared plus a 0 squared equals r squared. Well, then obviously r squared or r is 3, okay? Thank you, Abby. You guys agree with that? R is 3. I mean, I got 3 squared equals r. So then I know my equation, right? So let's just go ahead and put this 3 back up into here, right? And I'm going to rewrite this equation as an x minus 1 squared plus a y minus 2 squared equals a 3 squared or a 9. Okay, example 5 is just like example 4, except for maybe the radius isn't so easy to find. We got a center here, and it contains this point. It's the exact same kind of problem, but maybe it's a little more challenging. So let's take a look at it. So if I want to find the equation, where do I start? With the equation, right? So I'm going to start with x minus 7 squared plus y minus a negative 9 squared equals r squared. Okay, double negative, right? There's the negative 9. Don't let that confuse you. See the negative there, negative, which of course we're going to make that into a plus, right? I'm going to rewrite this. I've got x minus 7 squared plus a y plus 9 squared equals r squared, okay? Am I going too fast? I'll wait for you, okay? So that's all I'm doing is plugging in the 7 and the negative 9. Makes sense. It's supposed to be the opposite anyway, so if it's positive 9, I get the negative 9, that makes sense, right? Okay, now what am I going to do? Well, I need to find the radius. So again, same process. I have an x value and a y value. I'll put the 3 here and the negative 6 here, and I'll figure out what the radius is, right? Okay, I can do that. I will have a 3 minus 7 squared plus a negative 6 plus 9 squared equals r squared, okay? And then I'll have a negative 4 squared plus a 3 squared equals r squared, okay? I'll have a positive 16 plus a 9 equals r squared, which tells me that r squared is 25 or r is 5, right? So let's rewrite. I want the equation. I'm going to take the 25, or I'll put the 5 squared, and I'll put it right there, and I'll have my answer. So the equation is x minus 7 squared plus a y plus a 9 squared equals 25, or 5 squared or 25, okay? What do you think? Pretty easy? You guys okay with this? Okay. We'll do a second day of circles tomorrow because we'll take a look at some of the more challenging problems. Today is just supposed to just be kind of an easy day. Thumbs up? Easy? Okay, good. So, this is not out of your